in the media center. Perhaps a bit damp. Well, Scott, it's first win of the season. First win last year came here. 45th of your career. These numbers keep adding up, but it's not about the numbers today. We'll worry about those at another time, but this had to be pretty gratifying.
Yeah, big time, and more so just for the team. Like I, felt like a bit of an idiot yesterday, especially clipping that inside wall. Honestly, when I hit it, I didn't think it was going to break the suspension, but it did, and ended our day quickly. So today was all about redemption, and the team nailed the strategy. The car was super fast. We were able to get the mileage that we needed to, which was going to be really tough, with the exception to those last couple of cautions. And it's definitely pretty interesting. I think how IndyCar right now is stopping the races and making sure they get proper restarts, and so it's definitely great for the fans. And a bit nerve-wracking for the drivers. I think you kind of just want it to be done. I would have been happy for it to end on a caution, but it wasn't going to go that way.
Speaking of something I was concerned about, your crew members diving into a 1-foot pool. It looked like there might be some bruises after this.
Yeah, Blair, I don't know what he was trying to do, man. He went for the full belly flop from a great height, and I thought he was going to come up bleeding, but he didn't, so that was good. I thought I got my chin when I dove in, and I didn't realize it looks very different when you're standing from above. But who cares at this moment? We're just happy that we got the win. We got the first one out of the way this year. Points-wise, it was a big day for us. I thought when you get to that 100-point deficit, we were pretty close to it. After yesterday's result, that was going to be tough. But we almost halved that today. We'll keep working on that. This week coming with Texas, so hopefully we get on a bit of a roll here.
Question on your left from Bruce.
It seemed like the key was after that first pit stop, then you had a clean track ahead of you, and at that point you were just able to start, running qualifying laps to build the gap so that you could do the two-stopper. How important was that strategy?
Yeah, the way the whole strategy played out, I was, once that first one, I saw the whole field pit, I'm like, oh dear, I've seen this movie before, and it didn't work out very well. So, we knew we had to kind of try and create the gap. We had to try and go as long as possible on the reds, so at least we only have one more stop to go. And, we tried and they just fell off a cliff. So, I think we started losing almost 4 seconds a lap. I think, Piggott had the same issue. So, we came in, dove into the pits, and then, the caution came out, which was definitely a little bit of a lifesaver. But still, even from that point, to get the fuel mileage, it's pretty big numbers that we had to reach, and we knew that, the other pack was going to, try and stretch it out. They could run as hard as possible if they had some clear air, but they never really seemed to go. That pack stayed quite tight. So, we had some issues there, I think, with, I think it was Hinch and Panto. They were kind of off sequence that was really slowing us down. I was kind of worried about that for a change or for a point there, and then he had the issue with his car, which I thought they were going to let go for a while and maybe just pull it in, but that didn't happen.
A question on your far left.
How memorable will this day be for you when you look back and talk about the redemption, and also the same day that you get honored by the Queen?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge honour to get the companion Merit of Order, which is definitely very prestigious and something that you don't expect. And for me, I think how you kind of it's not like a normal accolade. It's not like a trophy or a race win. It's something of a very different feeling. So for me, it's definitely been outstanding. Very proud to get that CNZM label, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird that whole thing in a great way. To have that recognition in New Zealand and from England as well, all part of the Commonwealth. But yeah, huge day, and definitely one I'm not going to forget.
Staying on the far left.
So was Mike Tomlin your good luck charm, or what did he say to you? Did you have any interactions with him before the race? Did he motivate you at all? Or?
No, it was all Chip. He wasn't sharing them. So I don't know. I got to briefly, shake his hand before the race, and that was it. I think he was kind of hanging out with our stand and both the 10 and the 9. But yeah, good luck. I hope he comes back. I hope he's coming to Texas next week.
Anybody else? Right here, Aaron.
You seemed a bit confused during qualifying with the steering issue that resulted from the crash yesterday. I assume those are resolved between qualifying and the race?
Yeah, it's just a bit unnerving when you have a steering wheel that's really offset and making a clicking situation. You know, every time you go into a corner, you're hoping it's going to work. And, you know, thankfully it did, but it's just that kind of that uneasiness that you have that it makes it very difficult to push, you know, hard in qualifying, and you know, especially on the circuit, it's definitely about 110% commitment. So yeah, we found the issue with the steering rack and put another one in, you know, for the race, and the car on the race was perfectly fine.
Down in front here with Jim.
Scott, just go back to that redemption thing you were talking about. I think Robin interviewed you this morning on TV and said it'd been quite a while since you had a self-inflicted incident. I was wondering, yeah, what was last night like, this morning like? Did you feel like it, more pressure to redeem yourself today?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty miserable. I think I went straight back to the bus and stayed in that the whole night. Didn't go and see anybody. I went and actually hung out with the team for a little bit while they were repairing all the damage that I caused. But yeah, you just, I don't know. I think with scenarios like that, you just feel really bummed. You know, I feel bummed when you know all the effort that goes into these race weekends, especially a doubleheader right off of Indy. We had a bad run at Indy, and yeah, you just want to try and make something positive out of it. And then, you know, it's kind of even more on a hole after qualifying. You know, I feel like we had a car that was definitely capable of pole, but we just didn't really do it this morning. So, you know, it was perfect for them to kind of dig me out of the situation that we had from yesterday and earlier in the race, and I just tried to keep it off the walls.
A little bonus today that I mean, I know you're not cheering for competitors to crash, but Joseph certainly exiting the race early here and came back late, but suffering a bad day helps you out.
It definitely helped the point situation. You know, again, when I think it was 92 or 93, he got the pole today, right? So it was a 93-point deficit, which is not a great deficit. So it was nice to have that almost. You know, I think we're only 52 or something out now. So you know, at least we're kind of in the mix of it. But it, you know, as you can see, it changes so quickly. You know, so we'll just keep our head down and try and make the most of it.
Two more, one from Bruce and then Aaron, and then we'll...
With Marcus, it's only like a 7th or 8th race in IndyCar. Were you concerned on any of those restarts? Did you think he might have a little bit there, or do you think that you know, he might be able to pull a surprise out of his bag?
Yeah, it can go either way, right? You know, I think with the rookies, sometimes in that situation, they kind of just want to get it home and get a decent result, opposed to getting aggressive and maybe not finishing. So I was kind of relying on that. It seemed like he kind of hung back a little bit, especially on the restarts, didn't push as hard. So even after the first attempt when he was behind us, I could kind of understand that was maybe, you know, what he was going for. So I felt like our car was really good on restarts anyway. You know, when you have the clear air and you're able to set the tone for where you can start and where you need to start, it created enough of a gap that we didn't have too much pressure.
I think you told someone yesterday that you're just going to go after wins this year because the championship is kind of a lost cause. And adding to the Newgarden situation, the rough day he had, change your mind kind of on that?
No, going for the wins is kind of what you got to do. You know, I think with the competition right now, it's never one other person. You know, you're fighting a constant of 5 or 6 people. You know, I think after Indy it actually got really tight. You know, for the first 5 or 6. You know, previous to Indy it seemed like 2 or 3 are kind of stretched out. So this year I think it's going to be another year of, you know, especially from this point, you're going to have to be really consistent to get a championship. You know, it's how we won last year. You know, we did have 3 wins, but you know, we were able to turn bad weekends into good ones, and I think we've seen that from Joseph. You know, he's had some pretty average qualifying positions, but you know, that him and the team have been able to pick it, you know, pull out some great podiums and some big wins when they really needed it.
No rest for the weary. Go to Texas in a few days. You excited about that? You've been good there.
Yeah, actually, I've got a big week. Detroit tomorrow, then I got simulator for Le Mans on Tuesday, and I think I go to Houston to hang out with AJ for the day. So
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday, and then Thursday we're at Texas, so I won't be at home much. But yeah, looking forward to Texas.
Number 45 for number 9.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
How do I finish 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were stalled, did the safety crew, were they able to restart you, or was the engine dead, or what was the deal?
They were, yes, they they're able to restart me just in time. Because what I was trying to do is, instead of recycle the car, just switch it off and switch it back on.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. And and it did refire. Don't know why, it just wouldn't refire. Like when you release the clutch again and roll, it just wouldn't refire, unfortunately.
But you look like you're getting a little emphatic with the safety crew. Start.
No, I was just trying to let them know all I need is a start. I don't need to be asked and just put it in. And that's just try to keep our lap. That's what we did.
Question on the far left from David back here.
How tempted were you to try and get around Ericsson at the two restarts?
Yeah, I tried to get the best restart possible. We actually had diffuser damage, front wing damage, a bit of toe damage from the first incident in the race. So the car was still fast, like it was still quick enough, but I didn't want to take any risks. So it was a good day. So if there was a pass to be had, I would have gone for it for sure, but I was never close enough. Did my best to get close, it was good.
Question in the middle here.
Well, you've had, after the 500, you've had kind of a run of bad luck, which you were okay with because you won the Indianapolis 500, but this year you've had another run of bad luck. I was wondering if you felt a little vindicated today, just that you were able to even have an opportunity to get back to the front of the field.
Yeah, I did. Like, it's been just so often now that it doesn't go right that you're like, it's amazing how it all played out. Finally went right. This is it. It's going to turn around here and let's see what we can do.
Take a question in the back for Will.
Thanks, Will. This is Roy. Earlier in the race, when you had the misfortune, the announcers kept saying that you were going too long on your tires. I don't know if it's the situation in the race. Did you feel like that you could not give up any track position at all? I mean, due to the tires and that? They said that I kept hearing that you were going way too long with the tires. Was that the case or was it not the case?
No, we basically pitted and when it went yellow again, went to reds. We did about 5-6 laps on them because we know how quickly they drop. And that was, yeah, there was no weird tyre situation. We didn't go long. The stint after that was long for the tyres. We went as far as we could, yes, which gave us all that track position.
Chris?
Will, is this the most challenging podium you've had on a street circuit, or is there another race you can think of where you had to go through more to get to the podium?
No, I haven't. Yeah, can't remember the last time I was almost a lap down, like pretty much were a lap down to come. Oh, well, Pocono, I was.
On a street circuit, though.
On a street circuit? No. I'm sure there has been, because it's some crazy IndyCar races over the years where you totally down and then you come all the way back, and sometimes even win. This was more of a typical 2012 IndyCar race, 2012, 13, 14 IndyCar race where it's just mayhem and just hanging in there, you can get yourself a lot of points.
David?
Did you know how close it was going to be with Sardo, Hunter-Reay and Rossi when you came out of the pits for that final time, and you were set to have the inside all the way down?
Yeah, I did not. I don't know if they were all in the line behind that, but were they? Yeah, because I saw Hunter-Reay came out of the pits. I knew it was going to be interesting because I saw all those cars in front of me. I saw them all peel up. So all right, now we're going to do some qualifying laps. And yeah, it was great to keep Hunter-Reay behind me. Very, very good. That was the key to getting on the podium.
Will, I'll ask your last question here. 6 days you're in Texas, and it's one of your favorite places. Let's talk about that in just a minute.
Yeah, I mean, after last year, very determined to have a good day there, good night there. We crashed out, unfortunately. Last year was a radio issue. Another one of those days. We're gonna, looking forward to it. It's always a pretty good race in there, and we generally do well there. I actually usually have a good year on and bad good, bad, good, bad. So on to a good year this year. It just seems a cycle. I don't know why.
Will, thank you, and we'll get to the second place finish, Marcus first. Marcus, congratulations, your first podium for IndyCar Series. And you said it had been since 2013 since you were on a podium. I think that was GP2. Was that Abu Dhabi?
Probably. Yeah. I don't even remember, it so long ago.
I think it might have been Alexander Rossi winning that race. That's how.
Yeah, exactly true. Yeah, second behind Alex. That's right. Yeah.
So talk about the excitement of today.
I'm super happy. It's been one of those years where we've had a lot of pace. I feel pretty much every race weekend we've had good pace, but for some reason there's always been something that's happened and it's made it not come together on the result-wise. So I think our results have not been sort of representative of the pace we've got. So that was why it was such a nice feeling to sort of finally get it together for a whole race today. And even in quality we had a good car, didn't really get the perfect lap together, but then in the race we executed very well. The team did great strategy calls, pit stops, so I have to thank the Penske crew because they did an amazing job. But yeah, just it's just a great feeling to be on the podium again.
I understand some of your Formula One crew members were here today. How was that?
Yeah, exactly. It was 10 of the guys from Alfa Romeo that's been working with me for the last 4 years, and they were here supporting me this weekend. Obviously, they go to Montreal next weekend, so it was good to see them, and obviously they must have brought some good luck as well. That was good.
Bruce, for the question, or he can stay there. Sorry.
Marcus, the expectations were fairly high for you coming in this season because you started 97 F1 races. Is today a day where you really feel like you're an IndyCar driver now?
Yeah, for sure. I think, I came into this year with a lot of experience, like I said, and my goal and expectation was to run up front from the start. I think we had the pace to do that, but it's been a bit of a steeper learning process than I maybe expected. I didn't underestimate the series, but it is a very tough series. It's a lot of experienced guys in the series that are incredible drivers and also teams. And that's been a sort of process for me to get used to all that, get used to the tires we use here, the cars, everything is quite different. But I think, the pace we've shown all the way through, the results was going to come, and I'm just really happy it did today because I think we deserve that, and the team definitely deserve that because they've done an amazing job all year.
Question down in, I'm sorry, in the back.
Yeah. With Scott Dixon in front of you, Will Power, and a few other Indy champions right behind you, did you feel any extra pressure coming down the stretch of the race, or you just put it out of your mind and drive?
I mean, I have a ton of respect for all these guys, and for sure it was a great feeling to race these guys, but when you're out there, you're sort of focusing on your job, and that was sort of my main thing. But obviously sharing the podium with Scott and Will was a special moment. So yeah, for sure.
Down in front.
Yeah, we'll just reference all the mayhem of today. I think it's probably the first race where you've experienced that much mayhem in IndyCar for sure. So what was that like being out there for that?
It's tough, that's the thing with IndyCar that I've learned this year, that even if you're fast, that doesn't mean that you will get a good result. In many other series, there is, if you have the pace, you always sort of tend to get to the front for different reasons. But here in IndyCar, it's so close. The competition between P1 and P22 or 24 is always, a second. So it means that you have so many moments in a race where you have to execute well. You need to make them pit stop, the strategy calls right. You need to make a pit stop, the pit crew need to do their job right. Out laps on cold tires, restarts, all these things. It's such a complex and difficult series. So I think that's something I've learned this year, and today was definitely like that. So much going on and a lot of restarts. It was a difficult one, but that's why it makes me even more happy that we managed to execute the way we did, and I think we did everything right. Also, we started 12, so it was not like we were starting in the front row. We had a difficult starting position, but we just executed extremely well, and the guys did an amazing job.
You touched on it just a second ago, but I wanted to ask again, just standing next to Scott Dixon and Will Power, a couple of IndyCar champions and 500 winners, and what was that like for you?
It was very special. I mean, it was, like we said, it was my first, first of all, it was my first podium since 2013, so that's been a extremely long time. You know, I've missed that a lot, that feeling. And then to be up there with two legends like Scott and Will, which I, to run with these guys. I was running behind Scott, also in Indy last week in the race. I was running with Scott for a long time of the race, and he learned so much just running behind these guys because they are so experienced and good drivers and doing the right things. So it was nice mixing it up with them, and hopefully we can continue that for the rest of the year.
Down in front on your right.
Marcus, race control had a red flag today so that they could finish the race under green. And same thing with the Indy 500. I imagine you don't get that in Formula One very often. Could you talk a little bit about that and how that affects your concentration to finish the race?
I mean, when it happened, it's obviously not the best thing maybe because from a purely my own perspective, I was on for my first podium, and obviously with every restart there is a risk that something will happen. But I was feeling confident in myself and in the car. I knew after every restart we managed to pull away, me and Scott, so I was feeling good about it. But I think it's great for the series that we do it this way, and we do it for the fans, for the sport, and I think that's a great thing. And every restart there's things going on and there's action, and we take the checkered flag running, not behind a pace car, and I think that's a great thing. So at the moment when it was a red flag, it was 5 laps to go, I didn't like it that much, but now I think it was a very good thing.
On your left, Bruce.
Marcus, you came from a series that races every other weekend, and I believe the races are like 72 laps each. This past 7 days, you've had a 500-mile race and a back-to-back doubleheader. Is this kind of the most grueling week you've had as a race driver?
Probably, yeah. Probably a month, I would say.
Yeah.
But that's what we do it for. We love to race. All of us out there today, that's what we live for. And I've had such a good experience this whole year, but this month especially, it's been something I've never experienced before, and I've had such a good time and enjoyed it so much. And it was hard last time out in Indy because we were on for such a good result, and then I had my spin there in the pits, which was very hard to accept what happened. But it made me even more hungry to keep pushing, keep working hard, and today we got that success that I feel was coming for us. It took a bit longer than I wanted, but yeah, it's been a tough month. Coming back to your question, but it's been one of the best months probably in my life. So.
I think one final question on your left.
Marcus, have you been closely followed in back home in Sweden, and will there be a big major splash in the media back there for you? In fact, you're the first Swede to score a podium in God knows how long.
Probably since Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
2000 something, early 2000. Yeah, I mean, I have a great following from back home in Sweden and around the world, I would say, and got tons of support from back home. And I know that the races are shown live on Viasat, and I know a lot of people are watching them and sending support from there. And I expect it to be quite big news back home. And that's been a great thing this year, with both me and Felix coming to the series. It's been so much attention in Sweden, in Swedish media about the series, about our progress, and I think that's also, so many fans writing to me saying, such a great series, it's so fun to watch, and it's so exciting, and to see you fight, for top positions, and fans are really excited about that. So I'm sure when I check my phone later, it's going to be a lot of things going on. But yeah, I'm just, I'm proud of that support, and I'm happy to show them or give them a result like today.
Marcus, thanks a lot, and we look forward to seeing much more of you.
Thank you.